Thanks for checking out this video. So let's go ahead and get into everything that's coming to Shudder for September of 2025. And I didn't look through all the regular movies. I already looked through their exclusives and originals. So everything else will be a surprise for me. I like to kind of go through it that way. But hopefully it's a lot more than what they put out for August. Because August was very light. And my theory was September is going to be a lot more and October even more. But we'll find out together. So Shudder exclusive and originals are what I'm going to go over first. As a reminder, I have no spoiler reviews up on Mondays of the week that they come out. They are always coming out on Fridays. This is the same case in September. So you can come to my channel on Mondays and see the no spoiler review that I'm going to put up for that film to maybe help you decide if you want to check the film out or not. But the first one I am pretty excited about because I'm hearing like kind of mixed things on it. Some people are really liking it. Some people are really hating it, but it looks fun to me. Dangerous Animals. I know this one actually got a theatrical run. This is coming September 5th. When Zephyr, a rebellious surfer, is abducted by a shark-obsessed serial killer and held captive on his boat, she must figure out how to escape before he carries out a ritualistic feeding to the sharks below. I hear there are really not many sharks in it, but still, I'm interested. I want to see it. The next one is called Night of the Reaper. This one is coming September 19th, and I have to shout out that this is directed by Brandon Christensen, and I review everything that Brandon Christensen does pretty much. So much so that he actually commented on at least one of my reviews and was like, I'm releasing another one of my films, so sure enough, Carlin is reviewing it. Yes, and I'll be reviewing Night of the Reaper. In 1980 suburbia, exactly 1 year after a young woman is brutally murdered by babysitter killer the Reaper, her sister. What? This doesn't even make sense. Are they using AI for this? In 1980 suburbia, exactly 1 year after a young woman is brutally murdered by babysitter killer the Reaper, her sister Dina returns home just as the Reaper returns. That's terribly written. When Dina steps in to babysit the town sheriff's son, the evening escalates with shocking and unexpected results. I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping it's good because I have like a soft spot in my heart now for Brandon Christensen because I'm reviewing all his stuff. But, you know, I didn't love all his stuff. But, you know, Superhost was cool. House on Eden is coming September 26th. Paranormal investigators Chris, Selena, and their videographer Jay expect the usual scares when they set out on their latest case. But after being mysteriously rerouted to an abandoned house deep in the woods, they find themselves facing a force unlike anything they've encountered before. As the night spirals into chaos, missing crew members and eerie phenomena at an ancient malevolent presence watching their every move. This is a found footage, so it's going to be a tough one for me because I'm not a found footage person typically, but we'll see. Might be good. And then there's a show that's going to be starting on Shudder. First episode, maybe first two episodes, maybe. A lot of times they'll drop the first two episodes at once, but dropping on Tuesday, September 9th. This one is called Guts and Glory, and this one's created by Greg Nicotero, so I'm very interested. New unscripted horror-based competition show Guts and Glory from award-winning special effects artist and executive producer Greg Nicotero flips the script on the traditional competition show, thrusting players into an immersive horror experience full of unexpected challenges. The new series blends the intensity of a horror film with the pressure of a survival game where contestants are confronted with their fears in various scenarios. That sounds interesting to me. I'm down for a new show. Then, of course, The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs is going to be continuing. That will be on September 5th. It's typically been the first Friday of every month. Then they're continuing with their watch parties. The first week will be the Last Drive-In, whatever they end up showing for that one. And then Friday, September 12th, they're doing Recreational Psychopaths, which will be Dangerous Animals and The Furies. The Furies is actually a pretty solid one for people who haven't seen it. Good slasher. Then Friday, September 19th, the Babysitters Club watch party. It'll be Night of the Reaper and A Spoonful of Sugar. I did not like Spoonful of Sugar. Then Friday, September 26th, The Movies That Made Shudder Watch Party, featuring titles from the Shudder 10 collection, VHS 94, which was decent, and Late Night with the Devil, which was a good one. So that'd be a good one to catch. All right, so now going into all the other films that they're going to be adding. The next, I don't even know how many, a lot, are dropping on September 1st. Oh no, not interested in this one. Actually, this is a show. They're going to drop season 1 of The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. When will this show die? Please, when will this show die? Daryl washes ashore in France and struggles to piece together how he got there and why. The series tracks his journey across a broken but resilient France as he hopes to find a way back home. As he makes the journey, though, the connections he forms along the way complicate his ultimate plan. Sounds terrible. I'm sure it is. Then Access Horror 2025 Shorts Program. Oh, okay, a bunch of short films. That's cool. Short films from the 2025 Access Horror Festival explore fear, beauty, and transformation, and they center on disabled intersectional bodies and horror as a space for resistance and rebirth. Sounds very interesting. I'll have to check some of those out. Then we have 28 Weeks Later, which for anyone who's seen 28 Days Later and hasn't seen that, or saw 28 Years Later also and didn't see that one. 6 months after the rage virus was inflicted on the population of Great Britain, the U.S. Army helps to secure a small area of London for the survivors to repopulate and start again. But not everything goes according to plan. Well, of course not, because it's a horror film. Then we have Bride of Frankenstein. All right. Mary Shelley reveals the main characters of her novel Survived. Baron Henry Frankenstein, goaded by an even madder scientist, builds his monster a mate. Okay. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. Been a while since I've seen that. I need to do a rewatch. Billy Zane's in it. There you go. High-level demons collect low-level demons as warriors in attempt to obtain a key containing the blood of Christ. The key is guarded by immortal warriors called Demon Knights. Not a great synopsis, but sure. Then Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood. That's a fun one, which I think it has Corey Feldman in it, if memory serves. It's been a very long time since I've seen that one. The Crypt Keeper returns to tell the story of a funeral parlor that moonlights as a vampire bordello. Such a great concept. Tales from the Hood. I don't think I've ever seen that in its entirety, so I need to. A funeral director tells 4 strange tales of horror with an African-American focus on 3 drug dealers he traps in his place of business. The next film is Jawbreaker, which I have not seen. 3 of the most popular girls at Reagan High accidentally kill the prom queen with the Jawbreaker when a kidnapping goes horribly wrong. I kind of do have interest in that film. I think Rose McGowan is in that, actually. The Craft. Love The Craft. Great film. A young girl new to the Catholic school befriends a coven of witches from the other students either shun or fear. What? Okay, sorry. This might be me. A young girl new to a Catholic school befriends a coven of witches whom the other students either shun or fear. Got it. But when a powerful invocation goes wrong, the consequences could endanger their lives. It's a great film if you haven't seen it. Spin the Bottle. The story of a group of teenagers in small-town Texas who unleash a deadly force after playing the famous game in an abandoned house where a grisly massacre once took place. If it's a slasher, maybe I'm interested. I don't know. We'll see. American Psycho. Great one. A wealthy New York City investment banking executive, Patrick Bateman, hides his alternate psychopathic ego from his coworkers and friends as he delves deeper into his violent, hedonistic fantasies. Great film. Next one, another good film, Haunt. On Halloween, a group of friends encounter an extreme haunted house that promises to feed on their darkest fears. The night turns deadly as they come to the horrifying realization that some nightmares are real. And actually, Joe Bob had covered that one, so I assume the Joe Bob version will be back. And then the last one for September 1st is Devoured. Was that first? Yeah, the first. Devoured. A Latina immigrant mother tormented by malevolent forces living within the walls of an old New York City restaurant where she works struggles to escape and return to her son before the evil drives her completely mad. The next 5 films are coming on September 15th. Oh, well, this is a show. Bitten, seasons 1 through 3. I haven't even heard of that. Elena navigates her life between the human world and the werewolf world as the only female species. I don't know. Do you know about that one? Let me know. Hagazussa. That actually used to be on Shudder at one point. After the loss of her tormented mother, the erratic behavior of a 15th century woman living in an isolated mountain village becomes a threat to the safety of her infant child. I've heard it's like folk horror from what I've heard. Might need to check it out. Next one is Rounding. A driven young medical resident transfers to a rural hospital for a fresh start. There, the demons of his past start to catch up to him when he becomes consumed by the case of a young asthma patient. I don't know. Medusa 2021. In order to resist temptation, Mariana and her girlfriends try their best to control everything and everyone around them. However, the day will come when the urge to scream will be stronger than it ever has been. That sounds terrible. I don't know if that's just like a bad synopsis or a bad movie. Either way, not going to watch it based off that. And then the last one for the 15th, Candyland. A seemingly naive and devout young woman navigates her way into the underground world of truck stop sex workers, aka lot lizards. I had heard something about that film. I don't remember what, if it was good or not. The next one film is coming on September 21st. This has been on Shudder before, but if you have not seen it, this is a must-see, in my opinion. I love this film. It has Brian Cox in it, and Emile Hirsch. The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Father and son coroners investigate the death of a beautiful Jane Doe. You know, they can't tell you much for that one. Best to go in not knowing anything. And then the last 2 films are dropping on September 22nd. Perewangan, I guess. 2 siblings struggle to save themselves from the terror of the Perewangan demon, which has been passed down through generations in their family. I don't know. Not my thing. And then the last one is Pabrik Gula, aka Sugar Mill. A group of seasonal laborers working at a sugar factory must survive supernatural forces that arise. Not my thing. But that is it. Definitely better than August. Not as great as I wanted it to be, but there are some really good ones in there, like Autopsy of Jane Doe, Haunt. I think those would be like my top ones to call out. Oh, Bride of Frankenstein. But yeah, if you have any that you heard me talk about here and you're like, those are must-sees, let me know. If there are ones you're like, those are must-not-see, let me know about that as well. And just what are you excited about going into September? Not even just Shudder stuff, but whatever. But yeah, anyway, everyone, thanks for checking this one out. Do me a quick favor, hit subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up on the video, hit the notification bell button. That's your free way, all those 3 free ways to support this channel. But if you want to get a little bit more involved, you can with doing a membership. There's a link in the description for that. 3 tiers to that one. Every tier will get you very early access to all my videos. And then the top tier is going to get exclusive videos that no one else will end up seeing. But anyway, regardless, thank you so much for your time watching this. And until next time, keep it brutal.